I think if you were to ask most Liverpool fans who the one player that they miss in this season is, most of their answers would be Luis Diaz. And I'll be honest with you guys, at the time that Diaz left Liverpool, I had thought it was good business. We had bought him for approximately 45 million euros and sold him for approximately 75 million euros. For me, that was good business. He was an extremely important servant to Liverpool Football Club, an integral role in us winning our title, and in my opinion, I thought it was a good time for us to part ways, especially considering that his contract was due to expire in a year, and I knew he was going to want to get put on big wages. And being just in the infancy of the 25-26 season, I realized how wrong myself and others were. With Diaz scoring 5 goals and 4 assists in 6 matches in the Bundesliga for Bayern Munich, and while Liverpool haven't been completely dreadful, their left-hand side is clearly left with a big hole with the loss of Diaz. And that's not to completely discredit Cody Gakpo. I think Gakpo's a good player, but unfortunately I just don't think he is the same style of player, and unfortunately I just don't think he's at the same caliber of Luis Diaz. If you remember correctly, when we signed Cody Gakpo, at the time we signed him to be a number 9, and he was actually competing for a starting spot with the likes of Darwin Núñez. It's only within the past year or so that he shifted out to the left and he was competing with time with Luis Diaz. And saying competing with time is honestly giving it kind of generously to Cody Gakpo. He was the clear and obvious backup for Diaz. And why was he? It was because Luis Diaz's style of play was a lot more conducive to the style of play for Liverpool Football Club. He kept the pitch very wide, hugged the touchline. He was a very pacey winger who would run at players and was very dynamic. And unfortunately, that's just not the same style of play that Cody Gakpo has. Gakpo, as I mentioned, was a forward at one time, and we often see him drift in towards the center of the pitch a lot more, where Diaz would hug the touchline, run down it, run at players, and only drift in when we got to the attacking third. And me personally, I have been someone who said that I think that Hugo Ekitike should be given a chance off of the left wing with Alexander Isak down the middle for Liverpool. We spent a lot of money on the two players, and I think it's foolish for us to not try to play the two of them together. That is, if we're going to play with the two of them in a 4-3-3 formation. Obviously, there's been talks of us completely changing a formation to suit both of them. Diaz's style of play, just generally, is a lot more with the likes of Mo Salah or Sadio Mane, where Cody Gakpo's isn't. If you look at just the general build of Cody Gakpo, he's built like a number 9 more than a pacey winger. He's a big guy, strong guy, and his goals this season, yeah, he's gotten several of them, but a lot of them are him finishing chances that fall to him within the box. It's not him running at players and creating chances off of the wing. I actually think that Gakpo might be better suited as a number 9, although that was not a great position for him in the past for Liverpool. Nevertheless, us selling Diaz, I think, was a complete mistake. And when you really take into consideration why this mistake happened, it had nothing to do with the style of play from Luis Diaz, and it was completely centered around money. Diaz had 1 year left on his contract, and we all knew that he was going to want to be put on higher wages than he was. And frankly, I could understand why he may have felt disrespected by Liverpool. In the 24-25 season, Diaz was making £55,000 a week. And to an average Joe, that's fantastic, unbelievable money. But compared to some of the other players on Liverpool's roster, I can understand why he might be upset. Connor Bradley was making $25,000 more than him. Joe Gomez was making $35,000 more than him. Cody Gakpo, who I mentioned was his backup, was making $65,000 more than him. And Darwin Núñez was making $85,000 more than him. Now, these are all just reports that I found on the internet. This is not anything that came directly from Liverpool Football Club. But if there is any even just like a remotely decimal of truth from this, I could understand why Luis Diaz would feel disrespected. There are some players in the list that I just mentioned who were not even a fraction of as important to that team as Diaz was. Hell, Cody Gakpo was his backup and was making thousands of pounds more per week than he was. And if Liverpool were not willing to put him on higher wages, I could understand why he would want to leave the club. And frankly, I just think it's a huge mistake from Liverpool because we've not found a direct replacement for him, and you can see the team is struggling on that left-hand side. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down below in the comments. Is Cody Gakpo a good replacement for Luis Diaz, or are we clearly struggling on that left-hand side? Also, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell. Please don't forget to follow all of my socials that are down below in the description, and if you would be so kind, please hype up the video down below. Thank you all, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.